Welcome to the fifth of 5 briefings on DTM and partners cooperation. This fifth briefing focuses on the DTM Field Companion for location assessment sectoral questions. This briefing is for DTM and partners include clusters, authorities, sectors, working groups, areas of responsibilities, as well as IOM and other organization programs. This session explains what the Field Companion is, its structure, how it was developed, and its use. It also illustrates the information it contains and how you can develop the country data analysis plan using the Field Companion. The DTM Field Companion was developed jointly by the Global CCCM, Education, Health, NFI and Shelter, Protection and WASH clusters, the Global Child Protection and GBV AORs, the CASH Working Group in Geneva, Translators Without Borders, DTM and the Interagency Standing Committee experts on accountability to affected population and prevention of sexual exploitation and abuse, as well as IOM DTM staff worldwide. This work is the result of years of combined experience and months of targeted effort. DTM is grateful to all these colleagues for their contribution and unwavering support. Where to find the Field Companion? Well, the Field Companion is in the DTM and Partners Toolkit under Section 7, Sectoral Questions for Location Assessment. And the DTM and Partners Toolkit is available online at the link that you have in front of you on the slide. What is the Field Companion? The DTM Field Companion is the list of questions developed with global clusters, global working groups, and global areas of responsibilities, as much as with other sectoral experts and DTM. And these questions are included in the DTM Data Dictionary database. In the Field Companion, though, each of these questions is clearly linked to the information the question provides, the suggested use of the results, the suggested descriptive analysis, the charts mostly that can be done with the results, the suggested visualization, in fact, how the information should be shared, whether it's a public data set or it should be shared through restricted modalities. What sector, what working group, what partner is potentially interested in the results of that question. The precondition that must be in place before including the question in the questionnaire. The recommended key informant for that question. The options for answers and the instruction for the questionnaire form, as well as the type of question, whether it's a core question or a standard question, or it's a question required by clusters for their analysis. The Field Companion can be extracted from the DTM Data Dictionary database as a Word document or an Excel table. Both formats are available in the toolkit. There is an Excel table with different tabs according to the sector, and there is a Word document with each question per 1 page. Each document includes the same information, and it can be utilized depending solely on the preference of the user. For people who prefer Excel, they can look at the Excel format. If people prefer the Word document and are a bit intimidated by using a big Excel, then they would go and use the Word document where each question will fill 1 page. When it is useful, the questions in the DTM Data Dictionary database can also be filtered by sector of interest and extracted in those 2 templates. And this allows to select all questions related to a sector or of interest of a partner, including questions that were primarily collected or included for a different sector. An example of this is the lighting at latrines or the locks on shelters that are information of interest of more than one sector: protection, GBV, child protection, WASH, and shelter. We're now going to look one by one at the information included in the Field Companion. The first field is called Field Unique Identifier. It is a number that identifies the question in the DTM Data Dictionary database. Below you will see in the light red row an example of how these fields could be filled. The second field is the type of question. This refers to whether the question is obligatory, recommended, or required for analysis. A core question is an obligatory question that should be used in all DTM exercises. It is usually a question that has to do with locations, geo-coordinates, and population numbers. A standard question can be used or not used as appropriate. A recommended question is a question recommended by partners at global level. A required question is required for a specific analytical tool that the partners have developed at global level. For example, the WASH cluster, the education cluster, and the CP, the child protection area responsibilities, have developed a tool to do priority and severity analysis of DTM data. If these tools are to be used in the field, if the cluster or AOR in the field decides to use this tool to do analysis of DTM data, then the question should be, and the questions should be included in the questionnaires in the country. The next field is called Additional Description, Caption. It is a short description of the information provided by that question. We could call it a short description of the need, information need. The dissemination category is the next cell. It really indicates whether the data or the analysis shall be shared publicly or not. That's a suggestion at the global level that should then be adjusted to the reality of the context. A data set could be considered as a public data set at a global level, but in a specific country that information should not be shared publicly. And therefore that field should be filled differently in the country data analysis plan. Second set of information in the Field Companion. There is one of the fields that identifies what preconditions need to be in place before the question can be included in the questionnaire and therefore collected. It's very important to remember that if a precondition is not met, the data should not be collected, the question should not be included in the questionnaire. A precondition could be the training that needs to be done for enumerators on a specific subject, or whether or not specific services exist at local level. The next field includes the question text. This is a suggested English phrasing of the question, as agreed at global level by DTM and partners. The text shall be adapted to the context and the language. The next field includes the recommended source of information. This is, again, something developed by global partners, identifying the most appropriate key format to provide that information. The third set of fields and information included in the Field Companion include the instruction for the form and the answer options. The instructions for the form indicate how to respond to a certain question, whether only one option should be selected or more than one, or all that apply. It also indicates when adjustments to specific contexts are specifically recommended. The answer options suggest the English phrasing of the options for answer to that specific question, as agreed at global level by the DTM and partners. Of course, this should be adjusted and adapted to context and language. The dataset of interests is a field that includes a suggested partner or suggested sectors that will be likely interested in the information that comes from that specific data set. In the example, in the Excel table, the data set specifically of interest of child protection sector, the GBV, the health cluster, the nutrition cluster, and the protection cluster. The second example you have on the right is the way that field appears on the Word document. As you can see, a number of actors and partners are included in the same cell in a Word document. The last three fields of the Field Companion give examples and suggestions about use of that information in the first, suggested descriptive narrative analysis that can be done by DTM in the second, and possible visualization that could be done by DTM in the third, the chart or any other type of visualization that may be appropriate for that question and to illustrate the results of that question. How does the Field Companion help? The Field Companion is designed to help DTM and partners in the field in their cooperation. The Field Companion can be modified and become a country DTM data analysis plan by incorporating new questions or changing existing ones, or just using the ones that are already in the Field Companion. A few words on the data analysis plan that we have already mentioned. The purpose of a data analysis plan is to link analysis and use to each question and response options. It helps DTM and partners verify how results of each question will fill the information gaps identified in the beginning. The questions developed without a data analysis plan will be likely delinked from their analysis and their use. DTM will still collect the data, but the data may not support the partner's needs for response. There's another way of using the Field Companion in the field. In the beginning of an exercise, when DTM is under a lot of time pressure to deliver, if immediate engagement with all partners is not feasible, DTM can use the questions in the Field Companion, using them in the questionnaire. As the questions were developed by global experts, clusters, AORs, and sectors and working groups and so on, will likely provide information that is useful for the cluster and partners' response. And then engagement with all partners, of course, will follow as soon as possible. How DTM and partners in the field can use the Field Companion? Well, the DTM and partners will look at the information need field, the description, the short description of the information need, and then jointly select the questions that are appropriate to their country questionnaire. Those will be the questions that are responding to the identified information need. They will be looking at the options for answer and adapt them according to the context. They will look at the descriptive analysis and visualization mock-ups that are in the Field Companion, and then jointly verify that the selected question are indeed providing the needed information at the right level of detail. They can also agree on the type of descriptive analysis that will be done of the results. This exercise will ensure that the shared analysis will meet the need of the partners and that the right questions have been selected. Looking at the suggested use and modifying it when necessary, DTM and partners clearly identify and document the link between the use and the question to ensure that results are indeed used for response. They will also look at the dissemination modality jointly when planning for data collection, and they will look at the dissemination modality per each data set and they will have to agree or not agree and change the type of dissemination modality for each specific dataset, whether a dataset can be publicly shared in that context or not. They will agree on how non-public datasets will be shared within the group and with specific partners, and enter in necessary data sharing agreements so that they will have a safe and timely data sharing when the data is collected. DTM can also use this opportunity to inform partners of when, how, and where the public datasets are shared. Is there a specific DTM country website, or will partners find information on the global displacement.iom.int website? Looking at dataset of interest to sectors may be useful for DTM, especially to get an initial understanding of potential partners' interests, and as well as guide sharing of data. And using questions of interest to more than one sector or partner may help save resources by collecting data that are useful to more than one partner. How to develop a joint data analysis plan using the Field Companion then? Well, the Field Companion is already formatted as a data analysis plan. It can be adapted to become the joint data analysis plan for DTM in that country. After identifying information needs, Dtmn&Partners IM experts consider the questions in the Field Companion and identify those that match the information needs. They adapt the questions to the context, they delete those that are not relevant, and add new ones that they have developed together with the partner's subject matter or cultural experts. Then they answer the following questions in doing that. A, in this context, using this specific methodology, at this level of measurement, what questions should we ask in order to obtain the data we need? B, in this context, using this methodology and this level of measurement, what options for answers we should give in order to obtain the data we need? And 3, C, is this question safe, or does it put somebody at risk? At that point, Dtmn&Partner IM experts visualize and describe results using fake data, mock-up charts, and share with partners. The partners, subject matter experts, and cultural experts and decision makers use this description and visualization to verify that the drafted question can indeed provide the information they need. Finally, DTM and Partners IM experts make the necessary changes, finalize the data plan, and share it back with the partners. This is the end of the 5th of 5 briefings on DTM and Partners cooperation. Thank you for listening.